Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Java with Jim. I am Jim Phillips. I greatly appreciate you being here. I've got a few things I'd like to share with you, thoughts that have come up over the course of the last week or so that I've done some thinking on. I don't know how you'll receive it. It's just interesting to me, so we'll see how it goes. But I was listening to a podcast, and in this podcast, a comment was made that I thought was rather extraordinary, but it wasn't new, this comment. It was something that I've thought about before, but for some reason, when I heard it this time, it just took on I guess a greater sense of my bewilderment, my curiosity, my really understanding the significance of it. What was said is that I, speaking of myself or you or any one of us, we are the only ones having, or that will ever have, the experience of life that we're having. Think about that. You are the only one having the life experience that you are currently having. You are the only one that ever will. You are the only one that ever has. And when I started thinking about that, that's a tremendous sense of responsibility. I think we go through life and we want to say that we've done something new, we've done something special, we've done something unique. Well, guess what? That's your life. Your life is special. Your life is unique. As I just said, you are the only one who will ever have the life experience that you're currently having. Now, we can say that we are having this experience with other people, and there's no question. Other people are here with us on this planet at this time, roughly, 7.5, 8 billion of us right now. And with that, there are 7.5 to 8 billion different experiences that are taking place simultaneously. And it doesn't mean that we're not all experiencing life's events. We've got all these things happening around the world. We have things happening within our respective countries. We have things happening within our respective circle of influence, if you will. Those people, our own world, the little bubble that we each live in. And we're having that experience with those people. However, each one of us is experiencing whatever those events are that we might be sharing with others. We're experiencing it in our own way. We all have our own thoughts and beliefs. We have our own way of doing things. We have our own way of thinking. We make choices we make based on what we hold as true, not necessarily what other people hold as true. Although, unfortunately, we do allow, on occasion, and it's happened too much here recently, we allow others to put out information that they continuously say is true, that in fact is not true. It might be their truth, but it's not true as the truth. And yet we take that in as a truth and we make decisions against it, and it's not allowing us to fully experience and express the truth of who we are. But getting back to the main point, and that main point of your uniqueness, you being the only one having this experience of life, you being the only one that will ever have this experience of life. I don't know why that seems so interesting to me. As I said a little bit earlier, I don't know that it's going to be that interesting to you, but there is responsibility there. There is responsibility, I believe, to make the most of this life that I possibly can. And it's not only making the most of this life that I possibly can because of the benefit it will bring to me, but the benefit it will bring to everybody else who will bear witness to who I am, what I do, what I'm all about, how I might serve other people, the impact I might have on the planet. And that goes for each one of us. Each one of us has that impact. And here's the other interesting part of that. We all have an impact, but yet we might not be aware of it. Now, certainly we're aware of the impact we might have on those in our immediate family because we see their reaction to us and how it might influence them one way or the other. However, what we don't see is the impact on the people that maybe we only meet once. Maybe they see us and we're not even aware of the fact that they see us. They observe us doing something that might have a tremendous impact. There was a commercial that was on television, this has probably been years ago, where it showed people walking through the city. It was probably New York City that they were filming. And it showed someone do, let's say, pick up a peak. And I think it was actually helping somebody across the street. So somebody helped somebody, an older person, walk across the street, and then it showed another person observing that, and it showed the person reflecting on what just took place, and then it shows that person going out, holding the door open for somebody. And maybe that's not seen as significant, but it is showing a sign of kindness, a show of respect to the person who was holding the door open for the person who went in. Then it showed the person recognizing the fact that this person held the door open for them. And then maybe it showed them going into a coffee shop and that person bought coffee for the next person. So there is this continuous stream of effect that we have during the course of our lives based on what we experience, what we observe, and what we really take in, what we resonate with, and then how it might make us act in one way or the other. You know, it's interesting. I'm getting up in years. I'm not going to say that I'm old, but I am elderly, or considered to be elderly. And you know, if I'm walking into a store and there's somebody that's in front of me and they see me, and then for whatever reason they open the door for themselves, they walk in and they let the door slam behind them instead of waiting that 2 seconds to hold the door open for me. And I'm not saying they should hold it open to me because I just made a comment about being elderly. Just in general, just out of respect for another person, that causes me to consider how I'm being either respectful or disrespectful of other people. And so the impact that person might have, even though they allowed the door to slam in my face, that doesn't cause me to want to be like them and to slam the door in other people's faces. It causes me to reflect on, you know, how can I be different? How can I be more of a positive influence in the world? How can I make someone not have this feeling that I have of having the door slammed in my face? And that's just a simple example of one of the things that we see on a regular daily basis. We could talk about being in traffic and allowing somebody in front of us, or we could talk about how you're trying to merge into traffic and somebody speeds up to shorten the amount of distance in between the two cars so now you can't get in. Just those simple things that we do during life that, you know, maybe they're not conscious, but they're things that are being done that, when observed, could give us that opportunity to look at how we could do better, how we could be more fully beneficial to other people. And of course, when we do things for other people like that, it genuinely makes us feel better about ourselves. We might not be consciously aware of it because maybe you hold the door open for other people just out of habit. Maybe that's the way that you were raised. I know that one of the things that I was raised to do is, if I'm going out on a date or with a woman or significant other, whatever, I know that opening the car door for them is something that I just do naturally because it's something that I was taught to do, and I was told that that shows great respect for the person. It shows the amount of caring you have for the person. And yet I think when it's observed, I've had people tell me, why do you do that? They can open the door for themselves. Well, that's missing the point, obviously. I guess the point that I'm trying to get to with all of this is that all of us are living our own lives, irrespective of what other people are doing. We make our own decisions. We observe, we take in what it is that we want to take in, and we act on that in whatever way we choose to act. It is all based on our beliefs, what we hold is true, what we hold is important, what we hold as really the best way to live life, to be there in support of one another, to show kindness, to show generosity, to show love toward one another. Because in the end, we all are in this together as humanity, as society, within our more localized environments. We all contribute to it and we all benefit from it, because what we're putting out into the world, we're going to see come back to us. And yet, there's so much that we see that you look at it and you question, well, why would somebody be that way? And then that's where judgment comes in, and that's another one of those areas that we have to be very, very mindful of. Are we being judgmental? What is it that we're saying about other people or feeling about other people? And then I think for me, it's more about, well, why am I feeling that way? Why would I even say that about somebody else? What benefit do I gain by making a comment that would be negative or derogatory about somebody else? There is no benefit, other than maybe it makes me feel good. Maybe it makes me feel like I can engage in a conversation, because a conversation tends to be one where there's lots of judgment. Maybe I just want to fit in, but it doesn't serve any purpose. So I think the more that we observe what's going on around us, certainly what's going on within us, and then recognizing the correlation between the two, because what we're feeling, what we're experiencing inside is what we're going to project and what we're going to experience, what's going to be coming back to us, the mirror effect, if you will. So I think that as we recognize that we are the only one having this experience, we are the one that can create the experience that we have, we are the only one that is making the choices, because ultimately anything that happens in our lives comes as a result of a choice we made. Certainly there are circumstances that are going to enter into our lives that can be seen as somewhat random. However, it is our response to that that's going to create the next experience we have in life. And knowing that we're always at a choice point, that it is always going to be us who is the ultimate authority in our lives, and that the direction of our lives is going to be based on the choices that we make, recognizing that the beliefs we hold are what are informing those choices, and if what we're holding is true is not true, then how far from the truth are we? So I know this is a lot to take in, and I know it started out just as a course of following this thread of each of us being unique, each of us being the only one that has ever, and will ever live the life that we're living. We are the only one that will have the experience that we're having. But I think recognizing the responsibility that we have to live the best life so that we benefit others, and that as we observe others, that we're making the best decisions possible, that we're always looking for the evolution, the advancement, the greater understanding of who we are, what we're all about, and certainly within that, what life is all about. And then ideally making it better for everybody, supporting one another in that, recognizing that we truly don't know what somebody else is going through. Again, they're the unique expression that they are. We have no idea what they're going through, what they've been through. We have no idea what their thoughts are, what their beliefs are. And to judge them is to speak more about ourselves than it is to speak about them. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it made sense. I know I went in a lot of different directions on this, and it wasn't really the direction that I wanted to go, but when I do these, I just allow whatever's coming through me to flow, and we'll see where it goes. But you are unique. Embrace that, and always be you. I appreciate you. I thank you. Look forward to seeing you next time on the next episode of Java with Jim. Until then, take care and be well. Bye now.